not a lot really to say, is there, in terms of the match between Jens Pulver and Javier Vasquez. You might like to know that I contacted Javier after reading the article that I spoke to you about during my predictions video, where he was not particularly nice about Jens Pulver, and he actually apologised for it. He does seem to be, in all honesty, an all-right kind of guy. Unfortunately, this is now another loss for Jens, and I don't know what is going on. I need to make a few things quite clear. As far as I'm concerned, I don't really care whether Jens Pulver wins or loses his matches. The reason I'm saddened by a loss is because I don't like to think of him being upset or distressed, and I'm sure you know, that and the damage done to sort of his career through that sort of thing is quite upsetting for him. But personally, my loyalties to Jens are not really based on his record. No amount of losses in succession is going to make me sort of think that he's shite and abandon him. It's just not like that. And I have to say that, you know, his wins also seem to be endearing him quite substantially to the population. In fact, he even over the last couple of losses, some of the remarks that he has been making in his post-fight interviews and stuff have garnered him a lot of support. One might say that he has more support now after his 5 losses than he had when he was with the title belt in the UFC lightweight division. Interesting thing to note, because that in itself is an achievement. Really, the only other person to have been successfully endeared to the population enough to be sort of loved for who they are, not just what they do, is of course Randy Couture, and that's mainly because of his age, the fact that he is still game as he is sort of approaches 50, so to speak, to fight. And you will find the same sort of happening with him as he slows down. People will not care because of the sort of person he is, because of his character, and largely I think that is why you know, Jens Pulver is still a huge hit despite you know, losing quite so many times, and you will notice that it is going to be one of those things that can't be matched by achievement, can't be matched by skill. You know, Anderson Silva, Georges St Pierre, those sort of people are not going to get this sort of accreditation, really, if they don't put the effort into their characters, you know, to endear them to the fight fans, like Jens has done. So disappointing. I have no idea if he's going to retire. You know, every time this happens, they raise the point that he should retire, and he says, well, I don't know, or I'm going to go and think about it, or maybe yes, maybe no. Time will tell what happens there. I'm going to move on to some of the other ones. I did say with Miguel Torres that the one thing that I was worried about with him was the ring rust of being out for quite so long. Joseph Benavidez, I did say, was not to be sniffed at all. And although I picked Torres here, it looks like Benavidez won. In fact, he won by a choke submission in the second. You know, I hear that Torres was pretty messed up. He was really sort of blooded up in that. You know, so maybe that had something to do with it. Maybe it was ring rust. I don't know. I haven't actually seen that fight. But I did warn that might happen. Very surprised that Dominic Cruz actually managed to beat Brian Bowles. I didn't think that Bowles was such a flash in the pan when it came to all of this. The fight was stopped, I believe. Yeah, it was stopped by a doctor between rounds. I don't know why Sherdog says the official word is that Bowles did not answer the bell due to injury. I think it sounds more like doctor stoppage. I know that they've been rabbiting on Sherdog already about how, you know, Bowles has quit, all that sort of stuff. He's a coward, he's quit in the middle of a match or something like that. But if the doctor called it off even between matches, then it really is a doctor stoppage and not a case of, you know, quitting. LC Davis, congratulations, he won. I'm very, very, very pleased with that. I believe it was a decision, yep, majority decision. Well done to him. Bart Palasiewski got the better of Karen Darabedian. Again, you know, he's probably my least favourite in terms of sucker punch fighters, to be fair, is Bart. But you can't deny that he is a good fighter, and you know, I thought that Karen Darabedian was probably going to be quite a task if Bart wasn't completely on his game. But Palasiewski manages with the submission there. It's a no-brainer. The Scott Jorgensen Chad George match. What else happened? Poor Eric Koch didn't quite win against Chad Mendes. It was a decision loss, so at least he wasn't finished in that respect. Danny Castillo and Anthony Pettis. Do you know, this looked like some big showdown when it came to the weigh-ins. I don't know if you've seen the video of it, but you've got Danny Castillo standing there, you know, with a sort of little band around his head, chewing gum idly, and you've got Anthony Pettis on the other side, you know, looking extremely fierce. It really did. It looked like it was going to be a real war, and it was fantastic. It was a first round knockout, I believe. Yeah. And that, in fact, came after Castillo managed to cause low blows. This was the opening round, and Castillo manages to knee poor Pettis in the groin. The referee did allow time for that, and as soon as the fight was restarted, Pettis landed a left head kick, and that was it. So the moral of the tale is, you know, don't get on the wrong side of Anthony Pettis, because I don't suppose he takes being hit in the balls very, very lightly. You get a head kick for your trouble. The match before, in fact, there had also been a low blow. This was between Leonard Garcia and George Roop, in the fight that I didn't I did make a prediction for, but I didn't know it was actually going on until after I'd made the prediction video. It ended up in a draw, and this might have been because during the last round, Roop decided that he would also knee Garcia in the groin, and the referee had enough and deducted a point. That was Kevin Mulhill, I believe, something like that. So, you know, respect is due to him, because I really think that it's about time some of these some of these refs actually start deducting points for low blows. You know, I know, even if they're accidents, because, you know, it's about fighter safety and it's just not on. You know, well done to him. I believe that he thought in the second round that a Roop might be a bit like that. Ricardo Lamas also won against Bendy Casimir, and Courtney Buck actually went to sleep when Fredson Paxeo choked him out. So there we are. Better on predictions, but a few disappointing losses.